Hi, Omega Khaos here again with another real-life deck profile. At this time I am showing my updated Rank-Up Gogogo Utopia deck, of course with the new field spell and now released in the World Superstar set. This deck is now pretty much complete and it has been working pretty well, and it's pretty much a new version. I run some new interesting cards as well. I made some very significant changes, so let's go over this deck. So first, of course, the monsters. First, triple Gogo Chant, of course, one of the key cards in the deck. One card rank 4 pretty much, because when you normally summon this card, you spell summon a Gogo monster from a graveyard in face of defense, and then you turn this card to defense as well, so definitely very essential. Then triple Gogo Ghost, another really good card. A Knight in attack beta, and when you spell summon this card, or if I mean, because it can't miss the timing, you can then spell summon a Gogo from a graveyard in face of defense and then turn this card to defense as well. So yeah, really good. It also has 0 defense. You can spell summon this card from the deck with a field spell, so that helps as well. So yeah, all around very much a key card of this deck. And then of course the Gogo Golem. Yeah, pretty much the most essential card for any Gogo deck really. The original Gogo monster, so it doesn't really have any special abilities. It's just 18 attack beta, and it can be destroyed the battle once per turn when it's in face of defense. So it's just what you're going to summon with your Gogo Chant and a Gogo Ghost from the graveyard. Then the Toad engine, which I use alongside the Gogos, so I can have extra search targets for Onomatopera, and then and I can also spell summon them from the deck with a field spell, and they are very essential for this deck. So first is 2 Toad Driver, which basically construct Khaos of the deck. If it's spell summoned with the effect of Toad monster, you can just increase and decrease the levels of Toad monsters. Then 2 Toad Witch, another very essential card for this deck, because when you normally spell summon this card, you can spell summon a Toad monster from your hand. So of course the combo with the Toad Driver. Basically the main combo is to spell summon a Toad Witch from the deck, to spell summon a Toad from the hand to make a rank 5, which is going to be sexual weapon Leo Arms, so you can search out your sexual weapons to make your Utopia pretty much invincible. Then other monsters that help the deck, 2 Golden Berg, we can just help you make exist summons in this deck. It also has 0 defense as well, like Gogo Ghost and Chant, so that helps as well. Because I know also run this card, 2 Mass Chameleon, which can revive a 0 defense monster from the graveyard, but you can only spell summon from the extra deck this turn if you use this card's effect. So it's very good for, of course, another way to make one card rank 4s, and it's searchable with Kingdom of Fire Imp. So the only problem with this card that if I use this card, I cannot use Onomatopoeia's effect to spell summon something from the deck, so that kinda sucks, but yeah, if you use it wisely, it's not really much of a problem. And then I use one of which is of the sexual weapons, Sexual Tornado Bringer and Sexual Weapon Lightning Blade. I used to run those at 2, but I think it becomes way too clunky to use, I think, and I don't want to become way too reliant on these cards. And they're of course easily searchable with the Sexual Weapon Leo Arms, so I don't think it's necessary to run more than one of each, but I might change this in the future. I'm just still testing out everything. So that was the monsters. So now let's see the spell cards. First one, Rank Magic Astral Force to go into number 39, Utopia Beyond. So yeah, that's pretty much it. I don't really learn any other targets for this card. in this deck currently. Then one Rank-Up, which is the 7th one. Another kind of a new addition, but I did run it previously in the online version back in the day, but I think it's pretty good, of course, to summon out your Khaos 1/1 instantly, and even if you throw it, like I said, you can just discard to rank up your Utopia into number 99, Utopic Dragon. So it gives also some use in this deck to number 99, because I don't tend to summon that card in this deck very often, so yeah. And then 2 Rank-Up variants forced to go into the Khaos forms of Utopia, or even Khaos 1/1 if you want to. Then other spells, triple Exist Change Tactics. Of course, anytime you exist on a Utopia monster, you just pay 500 to get an extra draw. So very powerful card in this deck. You want to see this card as fast as possible, so you can just instantly start gaining advantage, a lot of it. Then 2 Onomatopoeia, a new key card for this deck. The reason why Gogogo version of Utopia actually exists was each time you spell summon Utopia monster, it gains the high 5 to the sky counter. Yeah, kind of weird, but oh well. I guess it's the top version of Kato Bingo. So, and for each counter, all your monsters gain 200 attack, and you can remove 2 counters from this card once per turn to spell summon either Gaga, Dodo, Gogo, or Subaba monster from your deck. So it's a really good card for your sexual or Leo arms plays, and make more Utopias or anything like that to summon Gogos from the deck or anything like that. So it's definitely really good. Only run 2, but it can become a little bit cloggy in multiples, and I of course ran 2 terraforming as well. Then triple Onomatopoeia to search out your key cards. So yeah, really good, of course. And 2 terraforming, of course, to search out Onomatopoeia. So yeah, I think it's the right ratio, 2 Onomatopoeias and 2 terraforming, so your field spell will not become too cloggy. Or of course, if you draw your Onomatopoeias before your terraformings later in the duel, these cards may become dead, which is kind of unfortunate, but oh well. So that was the spells. Now let's see the traps. And yes, I actually do run traps now, aside from of course Royal Decree. I don't run Royal Decree at all anymore as well, because although of course this deck can be very aggressive at times, it's not really fast enough to compete with more aggressive decks, and you really do want some defense in this deck as well. So yeah, so first I run 2 Exist Block, which I find a very interesting and underrated card overall. You just detach one Exist material from an Exist monster you control, and then negate any monster effect and destroy that monster. So basically Divine Wrath for Exist based decks, and you don't really make use of your Exist materials as well if you of course summon your Utopias. So yeah, I think it's a pretty useful card. Of course, it can be dead if you don't have a way to summon an Exist monster, but you should have a way all the time to do it in this deck at least. So yeah, it's definitely really good. The other traps, what I'm warning, of course, Compose and Evocation Device, Ring of Destruction, Bottomless Trap Holes, pretty much staples, nothing really special aside from Exist blocks, Traditional Tribute, and finally Mirror Force. So that was the main deck overall. So now let's see the extra deck. Of course, it mostly consists of Utopias, but I do have some staple rank 4s in here as well. So first, in number 19, Utopic Dragon. I think I have explained this card's effect so many times that I don't have to do it, but I guess I'll say it again. You just discard a rank up magic to rank up Utopia into this. But you can also of course exist someone using 3 level 10s, but of course in this deck you can't do that. You can revive any number in face of defense, and its effects are negated, and when any monster effect targets it, you just detach one Exist material to negate that monster's effect and then destroy that monster. So Very powerful card, definitely. And now even more now that I run the 7th one in this deck as well. Then number 39, Utopia Beyond, a pretty good card in this deck, of course. Make your opponent's monster attack point 0 immediately, and feeds on attack, of course. Yeah, pretty good. Then kills number 39, Utopia Victory, of course, the classic chaos number for Utopias. Pretty good card, I think. Then kill number 39, Utopia V, pretty much my favorite Utopia form, which can, of course, it has a Volcasaurus type effect, and the floor also can recycle your Keys monsters from the graveyard and put them back to the extra deck. Then triple kills my 39 Utopia Ray, just to get an extra draw off of exchange tactics and get an extra counter for Utopia, so you can instantly get 2 counters that turn, so you can transform your monster from the deck. That, of course, the key card itself, number 39 Utopia. Many consider this to be a choke card. Of course, the Utopia too strong, but it's actually not that bad. It is pretty strong in its own deck and can caught your opponent off guard. Then the other monsters, sexual weapon Leo arms to search for sexual weapons, and yeah, pretty good. Of course, you summon it with a Todo Witch and Todo Driver. That kills my 1/1 Sator Dark. Of course, summon it off the 7th one mostly. Of course, very powerful chaos number. Number 1 of Sator Arc, of course, itself as well. Then the Ocean's World Premier card, number 55, Gogogo Goliath, which can help you recycle your Gogo Chant if you need to, mostly. And finally, King of Realms to search out your masked minions. So, yeah. This was my updated Rank-Up Gogogo Utopia deck. I think it has some potential. You just have to build this deck right. I have have made like so many versions in the past, so I think this is probably the best one so far. And I'm actually glad that I have finally completed this deck. So I hope you enjoyed this real life deck profile. For now, goodbye and Omega Chaos out.